So I'm curious if the fact that the federal government has decided to get involved in what's happening with the rental market, if that's abnormal and it sort of signals how severe they believe the crisis has gotten as far as affordable housing.
Well, I think a lot of abnormal things happened during COVID and post-COVID. And the federal government, by necessity, I think did during an emergency situation, did assert itself in places where traditionally it would not have done so. This new initiative, it seems to be coming out of some really unusual market conditions that were happening post-COVID. But like any market, coming out of a really disruptive time, both in terms of COVID generally, but also adding the federal government's initiative around the eviction moratorium. Those were two very disruptive things that have taken a while to sort of smooth out. And we're already seeing that happening. Rents are already going down nationally. Supply that was in the pipeline that was delayed by COVID is already coming on board. So we're going to see a dip in rents already, and that market is already smoothing itself out. So I think the federal effort here is really there was a spike moment in time this summer. That situation is already resolving, and it's really a response to something that happened 6 months ago as the result of COVID. And it's something that, as the market changes and moves, it seems to me should be rethought.
So I know as part of these, recommendations for protections that the Biden administration has put out, it also included this challenge that asks states to see how they can strengthen their existing protections. I'm wondering, that seems more so like a suggestion than a hard push. How influential do you think that top-down pressure might be on states and local governments?
Well, the challenge really is in a couple places. It's both in state and local governments, but it was also to industry representatives, including our organization, to look at what our current practices are and how we can elevate, frankly, and particularly in the professionally managed space, things that are already available to residents who are struggling. Frankly, if a family or household is facing eviction, that's really more of a symptom of a much larger problem going on in that household. There's a job situation, there's a mental health situation, there are all sorts of things that can disrupt a family's income to put them in an eviction situation. We would like to help with that situation, but there are interventions that other parts of the government sector could be more involved in, we think, that would really solve the problem. Be that as it may, our organization, other organizations, and I think state and local governments will be looking at what they can do to communicate, intervene earlier. I hope state and local governments will use some of their federal money to intervene with emergency assistance where appropriate, et cetera. But there is a system in place already. Are there bad actors in every system? Absolutely. As representatives of the private rental market industry, if there are bad actors, they should be addressed through existing state and local law. We think those issues already exist.